using the banned cards because they banned the Haka and Rhaegar instead.
Well, we have a really rare circumstance here that we can explain and talk about. We have the first time in a while, I should say, not the first time, but it's been a while since we have the losing team pick map instead of first pick.
Oh, that's
so Miracle will pick Cursed Hollow. This is the map they showed us the Abathur Yrel strategy on, and guess what?
What?
Instantly banned Abathur. But it doesn't mean that Miracle thought necessarily that they were going to be able to draft this. They instantly banned the Genji. They were hovering over that. This was not a surprise that the Abathur came out. They're not thinking, oh, this map pick is worthless now. They clearly understand the map well and its macro, and that's all about Sniper. Sniper on the Abathur, Sniper on the Falstad. They picked the Dahaka with the Falstad, so Miracle has a really good understanding of how to gain soak advantages on this map, take tribute advantages, and also boss control while maintaining that experience lead.
They do pick up double global, but Tempest, they don't have to. They already have Malfurion for the sustain. And you can kind of find burst damage from those two, plus a little bit more, as Miracle did try that global one out. Of course, didn't really work. They had the Avatar back then, but with this one, it's certainly going to be different. With, I think what they're looking for is just not to have the macro. They were also banning out the Haka in game 1. Really concerned about Tempest, how they control the macro all the time in these big maps. So that's the reason why they have both globals taken out.
See Tracer make an appearance. Despite all the nerfs, she's still been pretty popular. Not as popular as once before, but now for Miracle, let's think about the bans here. You know that you're dealing with a Soul Laner who's going to win the matchup against the Haka when she's there. You're looking at a DPS that's mobile, but still squishy. So you're thinking about what pairs with the Tracer. Sometimes you might think Material for the boss control and the pairing with Tracer and Malfurion, that's so powerful. That also works well with Sonya. But Material's really unpopular right now, and Material can kind of counter himself against Gust. Sometimes you can isolate yourself and try and set up an aggressive Sanctification. So, not always the greatest pick, and they will remove the Hanzo, since it being a great choice as well for boss clear time, as well as camp clear in general.
Which I don't think Tempest was actually considering too much. Of course, Hanzo very strong on this map. And because of the scatters oftentimes in the choke points, it just bounces off the wall many times and it kills you. With just one skill, it does happen from time to time. Like Tracer can actually die to one single basic attack and the scatter in between. That is possible, pretty dangerous, but they banned it for themselves, which is quite questioning because it seems like there's a chance that Tempest actually might just go with Tassadar with the Tracer and just one tank. That has been the usual for Tempest on this map when they go Tracer route.
Yeah, that's the most standard way. And there's no way Miracle can draft into a Tassadar composition now. So they get the Tassadar if they want it. Tassadar ban makes a lot more sense to me. Tracer Hanzo is something we have seen on BOE a lot, but outside of that map, not really so much. So it is somewhat of a puzzling ban. I kind of follow your logic on that. Judy brings in the Garrosh. We'll have the Stukov in a while.
Yep, Blue Beetle's favorite. Stukov does make it out. Which isn't really seen too many times after the Maiev, all that Maiev first pick all the time meta, which was only a few months ago. You don't really see Stukov too much, but Blue Beetle's favorite support is Stukov. So bringing that and Medivh. Oh man, Gorge Kidnap?
Well,
yes, I'm up for it.
I don't know if it's necessarily going to be that, but there's a chance. This map, the walls don't last too long, so it's tough to get a lot of value out of it when you hit 10, but the Tyrael pick was completely, I mean, if Sign was thinking about it, it was completely nullified by the Stukov. You just cannot pick it anymore. And I was wondering if we might see something different because the Stukov is basically saying, like, look, I don't have a cleanse. Sure, Garrosh has his own, but if you're playing a little bit risky with that, Stitches can sort of play into that. But yeah, this is a comp that's really bad at boss control overall versus Falstad, Dahaka, Double Global.
Well, if they go Polybomb, it's actually not too bad.
That's true.
Focus.
That's true. You know, that's not something I really thought about too much. Leaving Comfort Pick for Franco comes out again. Yeah, I mean, that is certainly true. And you've got the Sonya when the Polybomb goes off. Things can go really well for you. And Medivh does a lot of consistent damage and finishes Master's Touch baseline quest. Twilight Dream can work well with that. And Twilight Dream can also work well with Leyline. We have seen the Zalia, as I like to call it, where you Twilight Dream out of a portal. But, you know, I don't know. I have to look at the draft and say I think Miracle has the better draft. Let's see how Tempest executes this Stitches.
For this big map, as Tempest actually have Medivh plus all that. Oh, look at this.
Much love.
So much love. That's why I come down to VSL.
Why you gonna come down, man? Show your love for Heroes of the Storm, Korean esports. Are you ready, G-Cloud, for map
I'm
2?
ready, and I am actually understanding so much.
That guy's not ready. He's had a long.
He's had a long day, man.
He's had a long day of picking.
See how small he is and how high those fruits are, man.
Yeah, those weird polygonal apples he's been picking all day. He's like, why did I have to grow up on the Polygon apple farm? I just wanted to hang out in the city with my friends. Well, you know, this is the third time only this season that Miracle has picked this map, which is pretty odd, considering that last year it was their biggest map pick.
It was their favorite. Falstad, the one. Those actually survived.
Yeah, they actually turned this into a positive for them. The over-eager Tempest.
And look at the team comp and say, look at Tempest, they're trying to clearly build this team comp where they are either kidnap one with the Medivh portal out of the way and leyline everything with the combo, or just have a Polybomb have an insane, problematic team comp against Miracle when they're fighting for the boss control or the tribute all the time. Team 5 potential, I think Tempest got it, but Miracle, look at their team comp. Do they really have to fight the team fight? Of course, you do have to get the tribute, but once you have double global, there are so many ways in a rotational where you can actually get not as about the same as the curse, but you can actually get a lot more by giving up the first one.
Yeah, if you give up the first one, your experience is going to skyrocket if you can delay. And with the heroes they have, like Li Ming and Stukov are fantastic for delay. You know, Stukov takes range attack. He's got the thing he puts on the ground. Why am I forgetting this is silence? But
lurking arm.
Lurking arm. Yeah, I don't know why those like. It's been a few days since I've cast Heroes of the Storm. So yeah, he puts a lurking arm on the ground on top of the tribute. Li Ming can poke it with the missiles. You can kind of cycle your cooldowns like that to buy time from Falstad and or Dahaka. And then if things get dicey, both globals come in, you collapse down, and it ends up being, you know, your win. You get the experience and you win the fight if executed correctly.
I think that's the thing. And let's see how Miracle actually uses the global. They have been banning so much and taking it away. They want to use it this time for themselves. Tempest, they do have Medivh. Good. Usually not the player to play Medivh, I would say. And Tempest, they don't really have... Can't really call anyone if they would like to really be the mage, the Medivh player for the team. I mean, Tempest, they were never really the team. They were always just looking for team fights, not really picking up Medivh too many times. Even the mages, oftentimes Lockdown was actually doing the mage, so kind of odd that having good on the Medivh this time.
I think it might be because, like, historically he was the melee flex, and melee flex played Medivh back when Medivh first came out. Like, I'm guessing, you know, kind of as you were kind of hinting at, I think. But love the delay on this night camp. I want to clear it first and then have it better time for the tribute. So, yeah, I guess maybe he's just a more experienced Medivh player. It is weird though. You know, I don't really peg either Lockdown or Good to be fantastic Tracer players, as it is. In fact, Tempest runs Tracer much less than most of the teams right now. All right, so Miracle, they've got the global up top. They've got Falstad mid dealing with the camp. And they're just trying to delay this now. Portal comes through. They need to be careful about giving a bunch of free stacks over to Medivh on the queue.
Tempest actually held its tribute for some time. I think they had chances before. they wanted to wait till everyone actually cleared all the camps to have even 3v3 down here, which is against the global, so I don't know exactly. I think their mission here is just buy time, make sure they hit 10 first before Miracle does, or at least about the same time against double global. I think you're all good to go.
Really could have been a big root there to get the toss. Recall's used. One of my least favorite changes that's ever happened here is the Storm is the recall location being shown. Just wanted to say that, that's all. That's all I have to say. I should walk off the desk.
Still about the same.
Yeah.
I think it's more due to the cooldown on that recall. I think 30 seconds is quite a long time. You do have to be careful for that 30 seconds after you use one.
I just feel like, well, I'll talk about it more later. I don't want to get too in depth on this. Here's a grab.
With the pulse bomb.
The root was really good to zone them away from actually getting a few of those auto attacks off. Like Sign couldn't do everything he wanted. The pulse bomb did connect, but onto a pretty heavily armored Garrosh plus heal.
Yeah, plus I think the bias kill switch just hit at the same time.
Yeah.
I think that without those, I think Judy could have gone down, but Blue Beetle just saving him right next to him. So it wasn't really a hard thing for him to just pop that D.
Well, both globals are in the same lane, and Medivh has been getting all the soak mid, so Tempest is buying time, but also maintaining soak. They're getting closer to 10. Oh, they're going to get the first kill in the game as well. First blood goes over to Tempest.
I think they were just thinking on Nitrogens here. Maybe I can buy a little bit more time, but the focusing continued from Tempest onto Garrosh only. Nicely done by them.
Oh, that's going to be a kill. Well, if he didn't have Burrow, it would have been. But that was really cool because he knew that if he parting gifted and dropped down the pulse to kill, they traded for the Burrow. I figured it was on cooldown. Otherwise, obviously that wasn't going to work. But when I saw Lockdown throw the pulse, I thought he didn't have it. Either way, basically in terms of soak right now, because Miracle's had these wonky rotations with that double globals in the top lane against Sonya and Medivh was soaking mid, Tempest not only gets the tribute, but they have a soak lead, and they're pushing closer to 10 where their comp is going to get more benefit than Miracle's.
There is a chance they're delaying this because they want to have a boss with the curse and push up to the keep with the first boss, with the first curse of their own. They were delaying. And because they know the global will come anytime soon, they can hear the Haga, they can kind of see the false stat all the time. They're delaying intentionally here, as they're up against double global, but they want to draw the globals actually to draw them out, make sure they don't get extra soak. They hit 10 first.
10 first.
Not Gorge.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be Gorge, just given the map.
Just ley line.
Ley line. There's some good arguments for both the ley line and the polybomb. I would have liked polybomb.
So the final one is going to be the top right, which is a very good place for Miracle, but if they lose the team fight over there, it's going to be the boss right after for Tempest, and they're going to be stealing that boss as well. It could be the worst situation for Miracle if they lose the team fight, so let's see how they actually handle it. They get the kill to Sonya on top.
But they're going to lose Judy. It's going to be a trade. Armor comes through, but look at Lockdown making the plays, coming through there, parting gift connecting. Massive damage. And they have Curse Point here with, 2 tanks traded Stitches. And, the Haka matchup is going to be a little bit of a weird one. Okay, really nice block of damage there. Stitches gets out, no problem. They don't want to go for boss. They want to try to get Curse. Threaten Curse, at least. The Miracle can't just say, okay, we'll delay and then get Soak right now, because they will be cursed if they do that. They already have a positional disadvantage. Respawns came through. And they have a vision advantage as well, because, as you can see, Good is just floating around, gaining information.
This is a dangerous spot for Tempest as well. Big silence. They do have the global. The Haka actually walks up here. Maybe Brush Tucker is actually on cooldown.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think you might be right. He's spotted. He's actually the target here. So he's going to go ahead and commit.
Who has a burrow?
Yeah. Gust used as well. Pulse connects.
No, finds no kills. But that's a good eat, actually, from Nitrogen. It does survive. Gets Sonya's Berserker out there.
Yeah, I think that was actually a positive trade.
Yeah, also gets a Pulse Bomb as well. Just have to use a Gust for disengage, which was actually not even needed.
Yeah, I don't know about committing that Pulse Bomb.
Are they going to lose? They do get the Curse.
And Sniper was really risky position. Now they've got a portal up. Miracle has to respect this. They back off. It was a bit of a weird situation there. They just didn't have the angle they wanted. And the Gust was already used. So now Tempest is splitting Sonya bottom. She's going to get tons of damage done. Falstad and friends rotating down. She backs off. But look at the top lane where Lockdown is able to just crush it. And in the mid lane, this wall is already pretty damaged. Miracle is kind of rotating around as 3 in the middle, but they're not doing anything with it. You can see Tracer clears that up real quick.
The reason why Miracle can't really rotate too well and even really commit against in the other lane, because once they go global and focus on to the other side, look for the kill, which is going to be hard, first of all. And the second one, they will be missing lane because Tempest, they were doing 1-1-3 as well, not to lose any XP, so it's actually a pretty well dealt with against the double global. Having very good experiences against all the double global as well. I think it seems like we are just talking about Tempest the entire time, but Miracle, they're not really using all their tools together. I think that's the real problem, why they're actually falling behind even with the double global so far.
Yeah, in terms of boss control now, as we head into the first boss take of the game, Miracle has a lot of great tools. They have the shove, they have the gust, but it's definitely advantage Tempest with leyline, etc. And oh boy, Garrosh is getting bled down. Shove comes through, there's the taunt, but it just isn't going to be enough to pick. This is going to be even worse than Miracle bargained for because they want to shut down the boss. They're actually going to get caught.
Ooh, nice gust.
Yeah, into the orb, but like it's still just not enough. It's just not enough. They're going to lose Garrosh and the boss now. And it could have been even worse if the gust wasn't that good. If it was, you know, a sniper gust, hits 4.
I think Judy's really panicking in this game, as he does have the Garrosh, but against some CCs where he's basically locked out, and they don't really have anything other than the gust to save him. I think that's the main problem. For Tempest, they have a lot of ways to chase. They have the portal, they have so many blinks and all the utilities actually to go in and kill Garrosh and just escape out. I think the Medivh pick actually got Miracle really in a bad position.
Look at this invade too. Cyan's gonna play the Noblesse game
Ooh,
here.
having the ley line, so waiting for the time.
Close call here, but they can still turn this into a 1 fight.
Nicely done by Judy there.
Yeah, and a good silence coming out.
He read that really well because some of the members of Tempest actually, if I pulse bomb misses, not so they're trying to tank. I think that's a great start for them. Ley line only catching Garrosh.
Yeah, but it's still going to be a good peel. There's the gust though. Yet again, Sniper defends, and Tempest, I think, in a few ways here, a little more than one, kind of disrespecting or underestimating what Miracle was capable of doing in this fight. And Miracle just really said, no, I'm sorry, you cannot have this. Tempest walked in and said, this boss belongs to me, and Miracle said no. Especially Judy there with the leading toss.
This can surely be a start for Miracle, as they got the boss of their own, at least didn't lose it. And they had that timing as well. That's the key thing. They were really not really too much behind in the macro. And they actually start early camp because they had the global Falstad already joining. So Tempest, they're trying to make the play here as they know this is the camp they're doing it right now.
Just tosses. Branko gets caught by the pulse though.
Oh, that's painful.
Sniper has gust in 10, but it's not ready yet. They're still going to trade a kill back though. Sign. Very, very low. No way to self-sustain.
Drag onto Dami. I think that could have led to a kill. Another kill for Miracle, having better trades. They got their camp as well. But it seems like Miracle is actually doing what they're supposed to do. They're getting everything together. They're having Falstad to Global Soak, take care of the boss as well. Just small one of the skills or one of the plays, like overextending from Judy a few times. And really, Dehaka missing the drag 3 times or coming in a second too late. I think if those things actually gather in together, Miracle, they can actually control with the double global in this game.
Yeah. If they do as you say, if they are able to take more of a defensive approach to team fights like they did on their boss and on this tribute, for example, as well as that camp that we saw just moments ago, there are ways that now that Tempest is no longer ahead in experience, that Miracle turns this game on its head. Good position here, actually, for Sign. Like the angle is trying to take over the back of the wall. Heading in now. Unseen. Okay, just now revealing himself. Who's he going to hit with the hook? Looking for Frankel, obviously, but not have a good angle. Just barely misses Blue Beetle.
Dehaka is not too far.
Hey, Nitrogen comes in. He gets caught immediately. He's slowed. And yet again, Sniper has the pulse, but Dom is isolated.
Gets the Dami in. Gets the silence.
Huge stun, but it's not enough. Silence coming out from the Twilight Dream is massive. Leyline Seal only going to hit Frankel here. Dami is playing with fire against Sniper, but the shielding there, the protection is going to keep him alive. Not so much, though.
Great silence from Blue Beetle, getting the Tracer. No blink out of there. Gets the portal. Judy trying to pre-skill. Don't have understanding.
Blue Beetle's dead. Shove does not connect. Judy doing what he can. I mean, he's one of the best Garrosh's in this league right now, but there's only so much he can do. Oh, Franco turns it!
Sniped out of there. Judy gets all this. I mean, Franco gets all the skill shots together on that Stitches. Make that 3v3 now. In terms of sustain, I think Tempest has got it, but they're just going to back it out. Maybe they will. Maybe they will just come back after the fountains.
Okay, he doesn't commit. That's a win for Miracle. Miracle is coming back in this game. They still hold all 3 keeps. Boss is going to be up in about a minute and a half. Miracle has now the tools to invade and win a team fight on Tribute. And then they can look for curse point boss plays. And Miracle is so good at this map right now. They're also like, again, we talked about this a lot last week when I was casting View. They're a team that in general is never famous for late game.
Post 15 minutes.
Yeah,
yes.
This year they have really stepped it up.
Knockdown looked for a snipe onto Falstad. Succeeds, but as long as he gets the damage out and make Falstad out of the team fight, that's going to happen later. I think that's a mission done already from Knockdown.
Yeah, it's a big tip for you in your solo queue games. Always do that so that you can press tab and then tell your other DPS on your team why you're better than him.
Yes.
As long as your pulse bomb connects,
your number will be highlighted. Nitrogen coming in. And does sustain. Judy does buy some time. Gus does survive. And meanwhile, Nitrogen, let's see how he's doing here.
Oh, he's caught by Dami, and Dami's got so much fury here. Pop this heroic.
Not really getting hit by too many skill shots of Frankel as well. Dodging all those missiles.
This slam build is actually working really well to kind of help get them out of here, help them escape. It isn't doing anything really offensively. It's more defensively where it's been effective for a sign. Leyline Seal is up, but there's just nothing to pair with it outside of Twilight Dream. I think that's what they're trying to set up right now, but Miracle's not really giving them an opportunity.
Yes, Judy has to be careful. A little bit more. Guts still not available this time, 20+ seconds. Nitrogen looking for a target.
Awkward angle. This could be a Leyline Seal play.
Pulse bomb misses in the mid.
Here it comes!
Ooh, catching 3.
All right, is there a follow-up? Twilight Dream gets interrupted. Very important interrupt there onto Hyde. That could have been the winning play right there.
Hear the sound. It's back now. Lion pushing the front. Getting all that absorption, but Garrosh blows up first. Nitrogen trying to tank the same. And Hyde actually goes in with the Twilight Dream. Great job getting all that silence, continuing with the damage. 4 down. Gus
didn't get locked down.
Didn't get locked down.
I'm so sorry, Sniper. You had so many good Gus this game, but this was not the one that saves you. Really good devour there by Sign to stay alive while protected. They've clearly practiced around this Medivh composition a lot. And this is not the first time we've seen it. We see this a lot from Dignitas. They're really taking a page out of Dignitas' book with this drafting style. And it's always good to see the impact that Europe and some of the top European teams have made on Korea. Because Korea has always respected Europe as a region. And it's only Europe that's ever really touched Korea internationally, with the exception of Edward Gaming and E-Star back in the day. But yeah, it's fun to see these Dignitas comps permeate Korea. And yet again, Tempest utilizes it. They've prepared it well. Good practice. They're now up 2-0. They've got match point. They've got a 3-0 in their sights, G-Clef.
That is true. And Miracle, they tried. They tried with the double global. I think Falstad disengage was actually all right on the same, at the good timing. But I think the main problem was Nitrogen. Just missing way too many drag in this game. It was actually sustaining okay, joining the later team fights okay. Just missing way too many skill shots, not really grabbing the ones that he need to. And of course, you can't spell Nitrogen without NA. I think that was the main tool, game 2.
Well, for Miracle, they honestly, I think they came in with 2 really good drafts. The idea in game number 1, like you were talking about, prioritize Anub'arak for Judy, target Science Hero Pool. They banned out the Rhaegar. They controlled the map in a lot of ways with their comp, but going to win the team fights. And in game 2, it was a similar story. They went for the globals, they went for map control. It was an intelligent draft that had a lot of strong synergy, but in execution, Tempest is just so good at team fights. They've always been so good at these scrappy team fights.
Yes.
These really intense situations. So, and once again, Tempest comes out on top in the mid to late game. So that was his friends list.
Yes, friends? I couldn't complete my quest because I had no friends. I mean, that does happen, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. I do feel